Guys, I hate Sweeter Treat in Loomian Legacy. Alright, not really, but there's definitely some parts of Sweeter Treat that I do find pretty annoying. A lot of my issues with Sweeter Treat aren't really anything game breaking, but things that I definitely notice when I'm playing the game that I can find a little infuriating, and I wish it was not this way. So I have a list of a bunch of little nitpicks I have about Sweeter Treat, so if you guys want to hear them, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But with all that out of the way, let's get into why Sweeter Treat sucks, I guess. So in the grass, there are some cool Loomians you can find, like Mochibi and Gworm are extremely common, while Kapoinks are out of 1 of 10. But why is every other Loomian extremely rare in the grass? Bunpuff is 1 of 50, Swirl is 1 of 80, Fancub is 1 of 100, and Slugling is 1 of 200. Like, why? There's no need for all these Loomians to be super rare. I can kinda see the Slugling because it's just a reskin and not its own Loomian, but for the rest of them, they could have been a lot more common. Like, here's some better odds I'll have up on screen right now that they could have been and made things a lot easier. And also with Fancub, why was it ever even a 1 of 100 chance? The variants of Kabunga and Kratal were like a 1 of 3 in their event, so why is Fancub the odd one out? Now I know that the Valentine's Fancub was a 1 of 100 because you could find it anywhere in the game, but that was for the Valentine's event. This is its own thing. This is the Sweets Fancub, and it could have just been like a 1 of 3 Lumian, bro. So we have Gworm, which is pretty cool. It's like a candy bug looking thing. You can kind of get the design. It's pretty nice. But when it evolves, it literally just turns into a candy wrapper with eyes. Like, what is this design, bro? You can't tell me this is not the most unoriginal Lumian design in the whole game. I get it's supposed to be like a candy cocoon, but they could have made a candy wrapper a little bit more original than just this, man. Like, this is not interesting at all. And speaking of unoriginal evolution, let's talk about Mochibi's evolution, Totemochi. When it evolved, it just turns into 3 Mochibis on a stick. Like, where did the other 2 Mochibis come from? This is also a really unoriginal evolution. This is like Loomian Legacy's version of Doug Trio. Just the other 2 forms just show up out of nowhere, bro. I don't understand that. In Sweeter Treat, almost every single Lumian you can find is specific to this event, and you can't find anywhere else. Except for Goppy. Why can you find a Goppy in the Sweeter Treat? Like, I don't understand that. They could have made Goppy a little bit more interesting by making some of the Goppy Pond Goppies appear here instead. Like, specifically these ones that look like candy reskins for Goppy, or just make brand new Goppy Sweeter Treat colors. Like, they wouldn't be that hard. And out of all water type Lumians to get their own Sweeter Treat form, Gumpod was the one they chose. I know I suggested for Gumpod to get a new form in one of my videos, but I didn't think it would actually happen. Gumpod is literally one of the most ugliest Lumians of all time. It looks like there was no design put into it whatsoever. The Sweeter Treat version of it does look a little better, but it still looks extremely bland to me. And also, there is a fishing glitch that sometimes when you throw in your reel, it just says there's nothing in the water, and sometimes your fishing rod just goes off the map and it says there's nothing in the water. It gets really annoying if you're fishing a lot. There are just way too many Lumians showing up in Sweeter Treat right now. That sounds fine at first, but it really sucks for people when the event ends because of how much mastery you're going to be missing. There are 195 Lumians currently in the game, and 17 of them are Sweeter Treat specific, not even counting reskins. And not to mention, there's going to be a brand new evolution line for Sweeter Treat coming this weekend. That's going to be almost 1/10 of the Lumians being Sweeter Treat. Just imagine how much mastery normal players will be missing if they did not play Sweeter Treat event. It's cool how we're getting these brand new Sweeter Treat discs, but it seems kind of unoriginal that they only function as hyper discs and they don't do anything else specific. Like, they could have made a disc that make it easier to catch Sweeter Treat only Lumians, or maybe they could have made like a Sweeter Treat version of like the wave disc, since there's a lot of water type you can catch in the water now. That would have been cool, but every single event we get hyper disc reskins, which can get kind of boring. The cherry and strawberry toppings at the work machines look way too similar. The amount of time someone asks for strawberry toppings and I accidentally put cherry because I'm only paying half attention is insane. They look way too similar. And also at the cashier, when your mouse is hovering over any of the buttons, you can see the old Roblox cursor show up in red. This is because we saw Sweeter Treat last year before Roblox got a new cursor, and Loomian Legacy actually made their own red version of this when they're about to click on a button, but they did not change this when we got the new cursor last year for this event. Like, they should have changed it to the new cursor. Sometimes when I'm working and I decide to hop off of my station just for a couple seconds to see what's going on, someone can just steal my station, and then I'll be out of a place to work if the server's full of people working on cakes. That can always be so annoying. They should put like a cooldown for how long you'll be able to take your workplace back before someone else can steal it. The cooking station's extremely really hard to manage if your device has any form of lag on it. Like, how am I supposed to keep the arrow in the green when my device is running on like half a frame a second? Like, this is just too hard. They should definitely remake the cooking station to make it not so focused on how good your computer is. If there's no one making cakes in your server, you have to do all the machines by yourself, or you have to switch servers. Like, you know how tedious that can be? At this point, most of the servers have no one working on cakes, so you really have to look for a good server if you're trying to make lots of cakes. Apparently, it's so easy to actually exploit the making cake system that there are legit hackers that show up and work on every single cake machine at once for them to get cake points really fast. And actually, I don't know why I'm complaining about this, because it actually just makes life easier, because you can still grab the machines, which makes getting cake points a lot easier. And also, if you're hunting, it makes getting Cinnaboos a lot easier, since they're also making Cinnaboo spawns. So, hey, you know what, Llama Train Studios, maybe don't patch this one. There are some very good items in the shop, like the chocolate bar and the milkshake. These are both very good items when it comes to PvP. So why are they event exclusive? You'd think if there's some very good items you'll be able to use at all times at PvP, you'd be able to get them outside of the event too. Because imagine there's people trying to get into PvP trying to get these good items, but they'll have to trade for these items instead of getting it themselves. It's funny how in the Mocho saddle you're chasing the Mocho so you can eat it. But why can't we actually just eat the Mocho? Like, this dude's literally just a bowl of ice cream, bro. No way this thing can run at the same speed as us. Like, I'm just hungry, man. I haven't eaten yet. I don't want to eat this Mocho. The fact that Milo's market is not in Sweet or Treat currently. I get how you can see Milo as a customer and you can make his orders, but they should just remove him as a customer and just make it so he can show up like at the back of Sweet or Treat, so we can pay like some cake points for some shards and boost tokens. You know how nice it is to have Milo's market showing up. The fact that delicious cakes are so demanded that people are legit trading like full-on alphas and even gammas for some of these delicious cakes. Like, not the Lumians themselves, but specifically the items. And the last thing I want to talk about is the fact that this event has been lasting for so long. Nearly a month and a half we've been seeing Sweet or Treat, which at this point I would just prefer for this event to just end so we can see Atlantean Part 2 show up more soon. But we don't even know if they're working on Atlantean Part 2 right now. I'd at least love to see some sign instead of them just making a bunch of these weekend Sweet or Treat updates, you know? Well, guys, as you can see, Sweet or Treat definitely has a lot of its flaws. But hey, at least we had to work in a cake factory in a Pokemon-like game. You wouldn't really see that anywhere else. But at the end of the day, Sweet or Treat can actually be a pretty cool event with the addition of Nomore, the cake point system, and all the cool items that we have in store. So with all that being said, I think my job is done. Oh, looks like there's a lot of people in line waiting to get some cake. Maybe my job is not done yet. Well, I guess as the video fades to black, I'll just be wasting my life away making cakes for the rest of my life. So, I guess I'll see you guys later.